Hello, my dear friends. Welcome to Factopedia number 7, which is on current affairs. So, in this video and subsequent few more videos, we'll be talking about the current affairs which is happening in Japan. We'll be covering all the most important current affairs of Japan. So, the first important current affair is that Japan has recognized Bitcoin as currency. What's a Bitcoin? Bitcoin is a digital currency and no one controls it. There is no specific institution like RBI or Federal Reserve to control that Bitcoin. It is not printed, it is not produced by people, it is produced by machines by solving mathematical problems. Bitcoin is also called as cryptocurrency. It uses cryptography to prevent double spending. It uses cryptography to prevent double spending. So if someone pays, it makes sure that the other person does not pay for the same quantity purchased. Based on demand, its exchange rate fluctuates. Like stock market, if the demand is more, the price also will become more, and if demand is less, the price will become less. So that's how Bitcoin works, and this is the logo of Bitcoin. Now let's talk about terahertz transmitter. Recently, Japanese scientists developed terahertz transmitter which is capable of sending data 10 times faster than 5G. In India, 4G was recently introduced. Not all the concepts of 4G were introduced, but Japanese scientists have invented something which is 10 times more faster than 5G. So now let's talk about what are 1G, 2G, 3G, 4G, 5G and all. 1G, it deals with simple phone call making. 2G, you can make phone calls, text messaging and basic browsing. The data rate is just 14.4 kilobytes per second. Just 14.4 kilobytes per second. 3G, you can do web browsing, email, video downloading, picture sharing, and speed is up to 2 megabytes per second. Now let's talk about 4G. The speed is close to 100 megabits per second and up to 1 gigabit per second. It's faster than average wireless broadband which we use in home. Now there are two major bifurcations inside 4G. One is 4G LTE and one is 4G VoLTE or Volt. What is LTE? It's called long-term evolution. It will require only few milliseconds to connect to the network. That's how 4G is differentiated when compared to 3G. It just takes few milliseconds. You just make a call and then within few milliseconds it connects to the network. And what is Volt VoLTE? It's simply understood as HD for voice calling. Like you can see in WhatsApp, when you make a call, the voice clarity will be much more than the normal call. So Volt will help you in enabling that particular HD voice calling feature. What is 5G? Speed range of 1 gigabit to 10 gigabits per second, and all this concept of 5G are not defined very clearly till now. And now talking about terahertz transmitter, it will have a transmitting digital data at a rate exceeding 100 gigabits per second. So it's 10 times faster than 5G. So 10 into 10 is 100 gigabits per second. So that's about terahertz transmitter, which was invented by Japanese scientists very recently. Now the third important current affair which we're going to talk about is space junk collector. Recently, Japan had launched a space junk collector. Now, talking about space junk, there are 100 million pieces above us in the space currently. As you can see in this picture, this is how an Earth will look when you view it from outside, say in space. So many pieces. Now, there is something called Kessler syndrome. What's that? It is a scenario in which the objects are high enough that collisions between the object could cause a cascading of collision, and that in turn will create more and more collisions. So in that possible way, when objects start colliding, then all the space junk will get multiplied and will create a lot of debris, and it will come down to the earth and crash in different lands. So that's not a favorable situation. So hence Japan had sent a space junk collector to space. So how does it work? The space junk collector has got a net which will lower the debris into the Earth's orbit, like preferably into the atmosphere. So as you all know, the entry into the atmosphere will cause the debris to burn. So this was the mechanism which was involved in this particular space junk collector. But unfortunately, this satellite or this particular space module was not properly deployed, and hence this particular project is into trouble. So this is about the space junk collector which was recently launched by Japan. So the first question for today's quiz: the identity of a company's poster person was said to be of Neeru Deshpande of Nagpur. Subsequently, it was said to be an illustration by Everest Company in 1960s. It is one of the world's largest selling brands till 2012 and had a 35% share of Indian biscuit market. So now most of you would have got this answer. Identify the company. The answer is Parle-G, and this was the girl I was talking about in this particular question. Over to the next one. Thomas Alva Edison first patented this invention, but was never used for the purpose for which it was made for so long time. People who were actually to use it wanted the process to be longer, but thought this invention of this machine would reduce the time of the particular activity for which it was designed. Identify the famous product which is a tool in today's democracy. This is very important. This is a very important hint. So from this you have to identify this particular machine and what is this product. The answer is the electronic voting machine. Random quiz number 3. Whose first film was an English film called Epistle? Whose first film was an English film called Epistle? He or she was a famous former CM of South India, South Indian state. Okay? The answer is Selvi Jayalalitha, the late CM of Tamil Nadu. She was a former actress, and this particular film was produced by none other than Shankar Giri, who was a son of former President V.V. Giri. And this is how she looked when she was an actress, and this is how she looked when she became the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu. Over to the fourth question. This band was first called as Starfish, but later found that there was one more band of the same name. Hence, they changed their name and derived a name from a famous novel by Philip Horky. The novel's name is Child's Reflections, Dash. Identify this famous band. The answer for this question is Coldplay. This is a picture of the band, and this is the picture of the book which was in discussion. The final question for today. Identify this famous or rather infamous tributary of Congo which is known for all the possible wrong reasons. Identify this particular tributary of Congo River in Africa. The answer is the Ebola River. It's famous for Ebola virus because it is named after this particular river. As strains of these viruses were first ever located near this river. Ebola virus causes severe bleeding resulting in painful death. So this is the Ebola river, and this is the Ebola virus which I was talking about, which created a lot of tensions in this particular time, say 2-3 years before, where it caused a lot of deaths. So this is it for today. Thank you for viewing this video. If you like this video, please do recommend, please do review. Have a wonderful day.